Everybody, just a very quick video. I saw a couple of people talking about the fact that they think EU5 is kind of, and they didn't necessarily phrase it this way, and I'm not trying to say that anyone did, but the EU5 is kind of stealing ideas from MEIOU and Taxes. So I figured I would let some of my MEIOU and Taxes content run in the background. It's mine, by the way. No one else steal it. That would be very rude. While I just talked about this really briefly, because I wanted to expand on my thoughts a little bit. I think I've been a little bit too hasty in some previous videos, and I wanted to elaborate on it so that my thoughts are clear. And I'm curious what some of you guys' thoughts is as well. So here are my kind of foundational things that I believe. Number one, Johan has said he hasn't really played MEIOU and Taxes much, or at all, I think he said, I think he said he looked at the map or something. I have no reason to think that's not true. So I believe that that is true. Second, there is somebody, Alderon, who I've not named in previous videos because I didn't know whether he minded being named, who's one of the M&T devs. I believe he's actually been on the channel before because I interviewed him for a video for MEIOU and Taxes 3.0, like a preview video around PDXCon or something. I think he was on that. Anyway, good guy, has been doing a lot of work on EU5. So there are some connections between MEIOU and Taxes and EU5. It's not like they've just hired the M&T devs to go and build it, but there are some connections. Giga is also extremely active on the forum. He's like one of the earliest forumites. He's a mod over there and stuff. And so he's spoken to Johan, both on the forums and in person at PDXCons and stuff. He's almost always at PDXCon, and they often invite him to go and talk and stuff. So that's, you know, there are connections between the M&T team and the EU5 team, including literally one of the former being in the latter. I'm not trying to say there's no connection between the two. However, I think also a couple of further points, which I want to make very clear. Firstly, it's not just going to be MEIOU and Taxes. Like I said that in the previous video. I was joking, and I think that's obvious. But I just want to be clear that, you know, it's not going to have the level of simulation that MEIOU and Taxes has, probably. It might. In some areas, it might exceed it. But realistically, you know, it's probably not gonna. They're not gonna, you know, MEIOU and Taxes is insane, right? It tracks all the wealth of all the individual people locally and like the goods they spend it on. And it has like whatever it is, 12 different goods and like global trade that tracks all the provinces trade. I don't think it's going to be that complex. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. So it's not actually going to be MEIOU and Taxes. Secondly, let's say, hypothetically, that it took loads of features from MEIOU and it looked at MEIOU and Taxes, it being EU5, as if it's, you know, we're going to anthropomorphize it here. It looked at EU5, EU5 looked at MEIOU and Taxes and said, okay, your estate system, for example, works really well. We're just going to pretty much port it over, polish it up a bit, make it run better because we can build it right into the engine. Do you know what the reaction of almost everyone, certainly everyone I've spoken to on the MEIOU and Taxes team would be? They'd be like, hell yes. I say we very generously to myself. I'm technically like a very junior playtester on the MT team. I've made suggestions and things and I chat to them a fair amount. I'm not trying to say like I'm one of the devs or whatever, but the reaction from us, the MEIOU and Taxes community, and us, them, the MEIOU and Taxes devs, would be like, this is dope as hell. Please do more of this. Like the MEIOU and Taxes team isn't building this because they just love the idea of owning something that's a good idea. They want this game to be the best it can be. They want to invent an amazing, sorry, not to invent, they want to create an amazing thing so that we can all play it. So if Paradox goes ahead and does that for them, implements things, you know what? Heck yeah. The next MEIOU and Taxes, the one built on EU5, which I'm not announcing, to be clear, either EU5 or the MEIOU and Taxes that will be built on it, but come on, they both seem kind of inevitable, is going to be even better. MEIOU and Taxes has had to put in so much work in 3.0 to get estates working the way they want. Imagine if you could have MEIOU and Taxes style estates, but all the team has had to do is add some more privileges and tweak the way that some things are calculated and things like that. Imagine what they could then go on to do. It would be amazing. If you don't know who Giga is, by the way, I mentioned him earlier offhand. I'm not sure I mentioned. He is the head MEIOU and Taxes dude. I don't know if he has a title. He's probably come up with some kind of dramatic title at some point. But he's a head MEIOU and Taxes dude, first among equals type situation. But he commented, on the previous video, and Giga, I hope you don't mind me shouting you out like this, saying like, yeah, even if they did steal stuff, heck yeah, that would be amazing. I've been talking to MEIOU and Taxes devs today. They was like, yeah, that would be, we're all for that. That seems great. Go ahead. And what's legal doesn't matter as for what's moral. I hope that doesn't shatter anyone's worldview. But the certainly the agreement that you come up with, I've just noticed that Lambert's name is actually on the screen. That's funny. Anyway, the user agreement when you upload mods to the Paradox, to any of the places where you put Paradox mods officially, you are giving them the mods. I hope everybody knows that. Legally, it's like there's not a lot of common law on the subject, but the agreement that you're agreeing to when you mod Paradox games and then you publish the mods onto their forums are that they own that stuff. Whether they technically do, because agreements can be invalid and so on, it's a complicated legal question that I think is not very interesting. But if you want to make something and then you want to own it, such that if someone Paradox used your idea, you would have a really legitimate grievance of claiming that they ripped you off. To be honest, don't mod Paradox games, because that's their stuff. Like, I think that's kind of fair enough. If Paradox did directly take a feature from a mod and implement it, I'd like to see them credit that. They have done that in the past. They took a bunch of Arumba's shortcuts. There was a performance improvement for, I think it was Stellaris. That was a mod originally that the team then just implemented and gave full credit and stuff. So when they do that, they tend to give credit. So I think that's the right way to do it. But just to be clear, if you don't want Paradox to take your ideas, it would be a rather strange behavior to build those ideas on Paradox's ideas. Because, I mean, like, you see where I'm coming from here, right? And then finally, there was something else. Hang on, I'll pause the recording when I remember what it was. Nope, can't remember what the last thing was. Never mind. Thank you for watching. Those are my thoughts. I didn't script this or anything, so maybe they're still a little bit disorganized and I might want to correct them. Tell me if you think I've said something silly in the comments, and maybe I'll agree. Maybe I'll do yet another video on the topic. Anyway, hope you enjoyed my gameplay here. All mine, do not steal. Pay no attention to the title of the video, and I will see you all in the next bit of EU5 content. I have some other videos coming up. One about UI, one about ways in which EU5 could go badly. Looking forward to making those. And realistically, doing another video on the next Tinto talk, because I don't think I'm going to be able to wait several weeks after these Tinto talks come out before I talk about them. I think I might just have to talk about them every week. Such is our lot on the hype train. Have a good one.